Hello friends, today I am going to discuss about seaweed culture, a topic which is more economically important. Let us start with understanding the term seaweed. Seaweed is a macroscopic multicellular marine alga that lives near the seabed, that is benthic. The term includes some members of the red, brown and green algae. Seaweeds can also be classified by use such as food, medicine, fertilizer, filtration, industrial, etc. Seaweed farming is the practice of cultivating and harvesting seaweed. In its simplest form, it consists of the management of naturally found batches, and in its most advanced form, it consists of fully controlling the life cycle of the algae. Seaweeds have been harvested throughout the world as a food source as well as an export commodity for production of agar and carrageenan products. A total of nearly 700 species of marine algae have been recorded from different parts of Indian coast. Of this, about 60 species are commercially important. About 680 species of seaweeds belonging to the groups Chlorophyta, Phaeophyta, Rhodophyta and Cyanophyta occur naturally in varying degrees of abundance in shallow bays, lagoons and coastal areas, which offer suitable substrata for their growth and propagation. In India, seaweeds are used as a raw materials for the production of agar, alginate and liquid seaweed fertilizer called LSF. There are about 20 agar industries, 10 algane industries and a few liquid seaweed fertilizer industries situated at different places in the maritime states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. The red algae Gellidiella acerosa, Gracilaria edulis, Gracilaria crassa, Gracilaria foliifera and Gracilaria verrucosa are used for agar manufacture, and brown alga Sargassum species, Turbinaria species and Cystocera trinodes for the production of alginates and liquid seaweed fertilizer. The quantity of seaweeds exploited is inadequate to meet the raw material requirement of Indian seaweed industries. Seaweeds such as Gracilaria edulis, Hypnea musiformis, Capaphycus alvarezi, Enteromorpha flexuosa and Acanthophora spicifera can be successfully cultivated in long line ropes and nets by vegetative propagation method. Let us first look at the seaweed culture methods. The earliest seaweed farming guides recommended cultivation of laminaria seaweed and reef flats at approximately 1 meter depth at a low tide. Also recommended cutting of sea grasses and removing sea urchins prior to farm construction. Seedlings are then tied to monofilament lines and strung between mangrove stakes pounded into the substrate. This off-bottom method is still one of the major methods used today. There are new long line cultivation methods that can be used in deeper water, approximately 7 meter in depth. They use floating cultivation lines anchored to the bottom and are the primary methods used in the villages. Cultivation of seaweed in Asia is a relatively low technology business with a high labor requirement. Site selection. The search for a suitable area is the most difficult task encountered in the industry due to the very delicate nature of the plant. It is very important to consider some guides in selecting and prospecting areas for seaweed farming. First is, choose a location where there is a good water movement or where there is a rapid water turnover. But not heavy enough to damage the farm. Water current speed should be between 20 to 40 meters per minute. Area should be sheltered from very strong wave action current and winds. Avoid areas that are near the mouth of rivers or where there is a heavy freshwater runoff. Salinity of the farm area should be from 27 to 35 parts per thousand. The area should have a water temperature range between 25 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. Water depth in the farm should not be less than 2 feet during the lowest tide and more than 7 feet during high tide. The ground should be stable enough to permit easy installation of stakes or bamboos. Farm bottom composition should be sandy and rocky depending upon the variety of seaweed. It starts with installation of test plants. Two methods of test planting are in use. First is line method. The use of loop or knotted monofilament line or polyethylene rope or any twine which should be durable enough to last for the duration of the test planting activities, tied end to end of two mangrove stakes installed 12 meters apart from each other, into which test plants are tied to the loop. Second is net method. The use of monofilament or polyethylene net measuring 2.5 meters wide by 5 meters long with a mesh measurement of 60 centimeter mesh stretch. Introduction of test plants. Seedlings called propagules used for test planting should come from within the area to avoid stress on the plant. Before introduction, some points are considered, such as weigh individual test seedlings before test planting, undertake actual planting with numbered tag sandals for identification purpose, clear daily the test plant, treat test plant individually and avoid direct exposure to sunlight or rain. During the course, weigh plants to get growth rate from the test plant with duration of at least 6 weeks. Then comes management of farm. Seed selection and preparation is first important step. Careful selection of seedlings is a must. Healthy, strong branches should be chosen. Good seedlings are usually found at the center and near the tip of a healthy plant. The ways to prepare the seedlings are: use a clean and sharp stainless knife to cut the branches in order to leave a smooth surface. Never cut the branch in a slant position, and do not produce seedlings with any cuts at its branches. Tying of seedlings. Use of soft, flexible, not easily shredded and medium sized plastic. Tying length will be 6 inches, that is 15.3 centimeter. The seedlings should be tied at the strongest point where they are well balanced for free movement. Avoid breakage of the branches. Tie the seedlings properly with enough allowance for growth, and do not tie 2 or more seedlings together. Planting. Before planting, clean the seedlings thoroughly by removing dirt, epiphytes and other clinging materials and rinse with the seawater. Plant prepared seedlings promptly. In the net method, seedlings of 80 to 100 grams are tied to each intersection of the net. Harvesting. Seaweeds are harvestable when they reach the weight between 750 to 850 gram. Harvesting can also be made a part of the maintenance procedure by pruning the harvestable plants and allowing them to regenerate. Drying. Recommended practice in drying the harvested plant is: spread the harvested seaweeds thinly over the prepared drying site of platform. Use coconut palm as a flooring when drying on land. Never dry the seaweed directly on soil to avoid contamination. In a drying platform, the approximate amount of wet seaweed should be about 1 kg per square feet. Turn the seaweeds at regular intervals under the sun for 3 days and at the same time removing foreign materials. Always cover the harvest to protect from the rain. Separate dried harvest according to the day it was harvested. Seaweeds are considered dry when there are no moist and particles of a sand on the surface. They are crispy and have a rubbery touch. Remove salt particles from the dried seaweeds by screening them with meshed screens. Pack clean dried seaweeds free of salt particles in a large sacks and lace them up for sale. Economics of seaweed culture. In view of the importance of marine algae as a source of food, fodder, fertilizer and pharmaceutical compounds, augmentation of these resources by different methods has to be undertaken. The economics worked out by the Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute indicate that at least a minimum of ₹500 per month falls to the farmer by taking up cultivation in 1 hectare area. Culture experiments conducted in the inshore coastal waters in the Gulf of Mannar and in Park Bay have shown that on the culture frames, the agarophyte Gracilaria edulis reaches maximum length of harvestable size within 3 months, while in nature it takes 4 to 5 months time. Harvesting is done by hand picking or by cutting the crop with sickles, leaving the basal portions to the net for regeneration. 1 kg of seed material of Gracilaria edulis yields on average of 3 kg per square meter of net after 60 days of growth. In 1 hectare area of nets, that is 1000 nets, 30 tons of fresh Gracilaria edulis could be harvested. Risk of predators are also associated. The culture frames were often the target of attack by certain fishes like Siganus javus and Siganus canaliculatus. The crabs Thalamita crinata and Thalamita integra caused extensive damage to growing parts of the seaweeds by merely clipping them with their claws. The problem of predators can be solved to a great extent by enclosing the cultivation area with latticed fence or a net of a suitable mesh size. Genetics of seaweeds for quality improvements. For instance, researchers have focused on the creation of organisms that efficiently produce biofuels and medically functional materials or carry stress tolerance in the face of uncertain environmental conditions. Seaweeds are photosynthetic macroalgae, the majority of which live in the sea and are usually divided into green, red and brown algae. Traditionally, all classes of seaweeds are known as human foods, especially in Asian countries. For instance, red algae are known as nori and brown algae are called nobu and wakame in Japan. In addition, red and brown algae are utilized as the source of industrially and medically valuable compounds such as phycoerythrin, N3 polyunsaturated fatty acids, porphyrin, agar and carrageenan from red algae and fucoxanthin, fucoidan and alginate from brown algae. Several gene transformation experiments were conducted for improvements of the quality of the seaweeds for various purposes. Transformations can be divided into genetic, which is stable, and transient transformations under the control of the genes introduced into cells. In genetic transformation, genes introduced by genetic recombinations are maintained in the genome through generation of cells, whereas in transient transformation, rapid loss of introduced foreign genes is usually observed. Establishing the genetic transformation system requires 4 basal techniques: an efficient gene transfer system, an efficient expression system for foreign genes, integration and targeting system to deliver the foreign genes into the genome, and a selection system for transformed cells. In this respect, the development of an efficient and reproducible transient transformation system is the most critical step to establishing a genetic transformation system in seaweeds.
To sum up the topic, it could be said that the seaweed industry has diversified significantly over the past 10 years in India. The number of species being commercialized and processed has increased. The development of the carrageenan industry, agar industry, the addition of highly valuable species such as the edible seaweed and the production of organic fertilizers are the most remarkable. Tank culture of algal species has not been developed on a commercial scale, although the efforts are being made to develop integrated land-based fish, mollusk and seaweed farming systems as well as in the open cultivation systems. Transfer of genetic transformation system through various means into cells is the most crucial step to have stable seaweeds for the better development in these industries in future.